to business.
When he drinks, he thinks.
That's the nectar of the gods, baby.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the number one liquid-fueled, liquid lubricated show on the interwebs. This is the Whiskey Musings Broadcast, and I have got a jam-packed show for you tonight. I have got a special guest. I'll be bringing this person in just a little bit. In fact, unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to chat in the green room kind of area because it was, I was getting a little nervous. I'll be honest with you. I was a little nervous whether or not he was going to show up. He said he was going to. And I held him to it. But it was, I had to admit I was a little nervous. And of course, I'm sitting here watching him in the green room and he's kind of chuckling and looking around. He's trying to get himself up. But when he first came in too, by the way, his microphone wasn't working. I couldn't hear him. So we're getting into some technical difficulties. This is going to be interesting because we didn't get a chance to do the full on check. I did take a look though, and it looks like he's probably going to show up in the video. I'm hoping. We'll see. But I think you guys are going to be really excited for him. Now, that being said, no, 3 Chevy, it is not Donald Trump. I am not that big yet. Okay. And I do say yet, because hopefully someday I actually will be. But first, before I get to my special guest, I've got, of course, another background. Let me get out of the way so you guys can take on the full effect here of the background. Yeah, there we go. Nice little scary background. I've got some, I definitely have, I have a bunch of them. And of course, you know, some of my, more famous, Whiskey Warrior P1s like to send me backgrounds and stuff that I can go ahead and use. And of course, if you do so, just remember 1920 by 1080, 1920 by 1080. That is the best size to send. But this is the month of October. We're heading into the spooky months, heading into my favorite time of the year. And so we're going to be doing, scary backgrounds like this one up until Halloween. And then I switch over. I'll switch over to my typical winter cabin scene that I usually use. I've been trying to find some variations of that, to be honest with you, but haven't been able to get ones that I like yet other than the one that I already have, which is cool. All right. So first things first, let me go ahead and let everybody know that I am drinking Redneck Riviera whiskey from John Rich, the country star, and it is really getting down there. I've got maybe one more glass left, if that, in tonight's Lucky Shot USA We the People glass. And there it is with that wonderful bullet right there coming into the glass. This is one of my favorite rocks glasses. And of course, I've got my stones in the bottom. And no, I'm not talking about my stones, cojones. Anyway, those are my whiskey stones that are in the glass. And believe me, Confucius says that baseball has it wrong. Man with 4 balls cannot walk, and he is right. So anyway, moving on. Let me go on to tonight's sponsor. God, I'm just ripping him a good one because I'm happy that my guest is here, that he showed up. I'm just like, anyway. Okay, so moving on here real quick. Let me go with tonight's affiliate and sponsor, the IOTC. The Institute on the Constitution was established in 2004 as a 501c3 nonprofit with one mission: to restore the constitutional republic through grassroots education. All courses and materials are developed using primary source documents and taught from the American view of law and government, as defined in the Declaration of Independence in the following 3 key points. 1, there is a God. 2, our rights come from him. And 3, the purpose of civil government is to secure and protect our God-given rights. The IOTC offers the opportunity to educate yourself on our most precious founding document, the Constitution of the United States. They also provide tools to educate your community and get involved with local government. Start by taking their free U.S. Constitution course and go from there. Use my affiliate link, iotc.whiskeymusings.online, to sign up, and while you are there, take a moment to look through their other course material and information. My affiliate link, once again, is iotc.whiskeymusings.online to get great content to learn about our historical founding and support the show in the process. That's iotc.whiskeymusings.online. Or if you just want to purchase this fabulous Saddleback leather-bound U.S. Constitution to support the show, go to, as soon as I can get there, constitution.whiskeymusings.online. If this Constitution has 1/8 of an inch, roughly, Saddleback leather, the pages inside are water resistant, and just check out that binding. It is string, and it goes all the way through the leather, the pages into the center of the book. It has nice, as some of the rumblers say, love those sexy rounded corners. It's also Buddy tested. And by the way, Buddy did test. He branded his. I don't know where he branded it. And I keep thinking I'm going to have to brand mine. So I got to get some time together to get mine branded, because I actually have a branding iron that I use for my steaks that I could probably use for this. But it is also tested by my youngest whiskey warrior, who has used it to pass his civics badge exam in Scouts. This is a fantastic stocking stuffer. We are coming up to the most fabulous, wonderful time of the year, of course, Christmas. So get yourself one of these and pass it out, especially to those liberals out there that you love to hate on. You got to send it to them. Anyway, put it on there for them. To go to constitution.whiskeymusings.online to get a direct link right there. And of course, if you pick one up, that will provide me, meaning the show, with a little bit of income. You'll be supporting the show. And of course, go and check out the Institute on the Constitution as well today. All right. So, normally I go into our on this day in American history, but I'm going to hold off on that because I want to be cognizant of my special guests' time here. So, oh, wait, okay, I was wrong. I was wrong. Buddy apparently says that he never branded his yet. He hasn't branded his yet. So, there he goes. He says, whoa, I never said I branded mine yet. Okay. Sorry, I thought you did. My bad. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I will do that. Oh, of course, Buddy follows that up with buy a cap. One of my Whiskey Musings caps, which are right here. They say, you know, when I drink, I think Whiskey Musings. It's a little dusty. Woo. Obviously, I don't wear this particular one, so, but you can go ahead and check that out at Whiskey Musings, store.whiskeymusings.online. Enough about that. Let's get to my special guest. He is a man that, of course, Rumble really does love. And I got to tell you, he has, we'll just say he's on his way back, rising from the ashes of a incredibly smashing, well, we'll leave that one to the history books. It's water under the bridge. Folks, let me welcome to the program, once again, the venerable, the exciting, the magnanimous, the bigger than life, J. Money Bose. And there he is.
What's going on, everybody?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I got an echo.
Yeah, I do. I have an echo too. Hold on just a second. See, I told you guys this was going to be a bit of a problem. All right, try now.
Is that better?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, there we go.
There we go. All right. Here he is, gentlemen and ladies and everybody, J. Money Bose. And there he is. He's bigger than life. He's kind of, you're leaning a little bit, dude. What are you doing?
I just had dinner.
Oh, okay. So, oh gosh. All right.
Yeah. So, how's everybody doing?
Uh,
How you doing, sir?
I am doing well, and I actually have an echo. Do you have an echo still?
I do. I just thought maybe it was my delay.
No, I don't think so. This is probably on me. Give me just a second. But hey, why don't you do me a favor? Let me see. I got to figure out where this is. I know this is an echo, and I got to figure out why. Oh, I know why. Hold on. I think I know why.
You got your microphone on.
Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah. I think I know what might be going on here. Just give me just a second, folks. Let me see here. No.
I guess that means I should have joined earlier.
Yeah, you probably should have so that I could have gotten this fixed. My goodness.
Yeah, we were at my uncle's house.
Oh, okay.
So
all right.
I was like, all right, we gotta go.
Okay. Well, let me just see something here. Let me try. Can you say something again? Let's see if that.
Something.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Buddy was saying that there's no echo here. So, and they're saying it sounds fine. So out there, but it must have been just me. All right. Well, that's fine. I got rid of it. For at least from my side. So, okay. All right. So, obviously there was something that happened. We won't go into it because the official position, which will stay here, we'll keep with, is obviously the fact that, you got moved over into traffic. You're still at WOKV. You are still doing traffic in the mornings. In fact, I believe that, that most folks who live in the Jacksonville area are still hearing you every morning on traffic. Is that correct?
Yeah, from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m.
5 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you are in Jacksonville, Florida, and within the sound of my voice, of course, you got to listen to the sexiest traffic provider in Jacksonville. That would be WOKV Traffic. With our master Jay Bose. So,
and there's like 4 other music channels I do, but
okay,
not really something I've wanted to do.
Right.
As somebody told me in the newsroom, I was voluntold.
Voluntold. Yes.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
But hey, enough about that, because everybody knows that's where you come from and everything else. So I thought I'd just let people know, let some of the people who might be new know about that. So let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on from that, which, by the way, before I do, I just got hit. Outlaw Dog says she lives in PA and she listens to WOKV just for your traffic reports. So there you go.
Thank you.
Anyway.
I know you don't know those roads, but.
Yeah. So,
I don't even know them.
But you're doing fine. Obviously you're still at work. You're still working for WOKV. Everything's cool. But I hear that there is a new venture that you are working on. And, I was going to cue up your intro music, but I kind of got a little lost with you showing up here. But anyway, I was like, damn it, if he's not going to show up, I can't bring it up. But, do you want to go ahead and just
intro music from it?
Yeah, the intro music. Yep.
I don't know what I'm settling on yet. Oh,
really? Okay. Well, if anybody wants to listen to Jay and his wonderful sexy voice, you why don't you go ahead and tell us what the project is that you are working on, sir?
So, I've been talking about doing a podcast for, I don't know, a year or something like that. So I finally did it. I finally hit the bullet, and I started my podcast not on movie trivia or movie reviews, but on conspiracy theories. And the last episode I did, the last pill was the Mandela Effect and the multiverse. But yes, the show is called Red Pill Fix, and I've got it on Spotify and Podbean for right now.
Well, doesn't Podbean distribute it for you?
Yeah, they actually distribute it to Spotify for me.
Yeah. So I picked it up.
I just uploaded to Podbean.
Okay. So I mean, Podbean, yes. So just for everybody that may not know, for Podbean, you can go to Podbean and you could subscribe to podcasts there, but you can. But what Podbean also does is it will ship it out to like other places. It's
I don't know if they do it to iTunes. I'll have to look.
Well, I know it's on Spotify because that's where I found it. It's called Red Pill Fix. Red Pill Fix.
Yes.
And so I've been dying. I'm sorry.
I chose with Red Pill Fix. I've been tossing the name around a bunch, but then I just chose Red Pill Fix and went with it.
Okay, Red Pill Fix. Now, the photograph that you're using is just of the hand holding the red pills. Is that yours?
No.
Okay.
No, that's some stock photo I found.
All right, cool. I was curious about that. So your concept for this podcast is going to be delving into the seedy side of conspiracy theories and, shall we say, mysteries that are around in this world. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah. So, I mean, the first episode was about a group called the Bohemian Club in San Francisco, and they do a bunch of like rituals, and there's a lot of really famous people and like leaders, global leaders that are part of the club.
Right.
And I just kind of dive into that, what they do that has been released from their Bohemian Grove.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one is just Mandela Effect, how it works, what it is. And then I kind of tie in the multiverse into it. So I kind of create my own idea.
Right. So, not that I want you to necessarily give anything away, but what types of things are you looking for in the future?
What do you mean?
Well, like what kind of topics are you looking toward in the future?
Well, so I my next pill is going to be, I believe, on Hawaii fire and new weaponry, direct energy weapons. So I think I'm going to jump on that, but I kind of just look around, see what topic I can find, and then I'll just jump on it there. I don't really have any like schedule going. I'm just kind of randomly picking things.
Right. Okay.
I should probably get a schedule.
Maybe. I mean, okay. So, you could go back into the Whiskey Musings broadcast archive and get back to like episodes 1 through 50, where I literally was going off the seat of my pants. So there you go.
So you get me.
Oh yeah. No, sometimes sometimes I have to admit it's difficult to necessarily, try and sit down and get organized, I guess, to say in some of it, in terms of that.
And the biggest problem I have is after I finish doing the pill, then the next day I'm like, all right, well, what am I going to work on now?
Right.
So that's the only real kicker for me.
Okay. So again, it's called the Red Pill Fix. Red Pill Fix. And if you had you have a what do you call it? An email that you can that people can get a hold of you, right?
That is correct. It's redpillfixshow@gmail.com.
Okay, redpillfixshow@gmail.com, just to make sure that
Yes,
that's
sir.
out there. Okay, redpillfixshow@gmail.com. For those that want to send him an email with regards to, what do you call
You know
it?
what? They're what they want to hear about. Any kind of questions about like past pills I've done, kind of like touch back and if there's anything I missed.
Okay. Okay.
So it's my way of getting the listener to interact with.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, Mark over on Facebook has passed on some information for you here. It says, Jay, there's a guy named Evan on YouTube. His channel is Moneybags73, and it's apparently all about Mandela effect videos.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, so you might
I'm
want
gonna
to check
that out.
Yeah, you might want to check that out. And of course, Outlaw Dogs, who helps me out quite a bit by posting my links, has gone ahead and tossed up links to your show on Spotify, as well as throwing out your email in everything as well. So
Thank you, Outlaw.
yeah, so
Appreciate that.
apparently I did a show faux pas here. I went ahead and like totally skipped. What are you drinking tonight?
So nothing grand or anything, but it's Jim Beam vanilla.
Okay, Jim
I had
Beam
some,
vanilla.
I had some Hibiki earlier at my uncle's
Oh, okay.
Japanese Scotch.
Right. Okay. That's Japanese whiskey there?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, I haven't tried any of the Japanese varietals yet, but maybe. I mean,
It's not bad.
I'm kind of partial to the bourbons and the Irish at this point. Of course, I get chastised by Bonnie B. Patrick all the time for not drinking, the Kentucky bourbon. But anyway,
Well.
especially the red Four Roses. Sorry, Four Roses.
Oh, yeah, that stuff's good.
Yep.
I was on a budget.
Yeah, well, I can only grab it every once in a while, and I went and grabbed a bottle because I like the single barrel. To be honest with you, but as far as that goes,
single barrel, amazing.
Yeah, so I pick that up every once in a while, and it's more and more of my higher end kind of drinks. Okay, so Red Pill Fix is your latest foray into the podcasting space. So where do you, I guess, from one podcaster to another, because I mean, technically this is kind of a podcast kind of format. From one podcast to another, where do you see yourself potentially going with this? I mean, are you looking to, try and eventually get into it as a full-time gig, or are you just sort of, as a tack on, or?
So right now it's a tack on. I've got other thing that I'm working on. But right now, a week is when I'll release the pill.
Okay,
But,
once a week.
I mean, once I start getting more comfortable with and more of a groove of what's coming, then I might release.
Okay.
But I'm going to run out of conspiracy.
Gonna run out of
Unfortunately.
conspiracy theories. Well, I mean, honestly, I think right now you're running out of conspiracy theories because they're all becoming spoiler alerts. But
That's true.
That's true. As far as that goes. Oh, wait a minute. I should have been hit waiting for. Hold on. Let me run that one more time here. Okay. I think you're running out of conspiracy theories because now they're more like spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. See, sometimes I forget that I have audio effects here too, and I always have to ask myself,
what are you doing, you moron?
Yeah, it's just, anyway.
What do you use for that?
That I actually downloaded those MP3s, and it's just an audio file that plays that plays on the set. I've got it hooked up to a sorry, I'm getting them to go away. I've got it hooked up to hotkeys that are connected.
Okay.
So yeah. So
Right on.
Yep. So okay, wait a minute. Outlaw, I think you're gonna have to ask him personally. I don't know what you want here. Apparently you have a request to introduce the outlaw dogs. I'm not exactly sure what she means by that, but whatever.
Hey, everybody. Here's the outlaw dogs.
There you go.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, is that what you're after there, outlaw? Anyway,
Are you talking about like a picture of your dog?
oh, I know what she's doing. Okay. So here's the gig for people. That actually, she just said that was perfect. So here's the gig. So what Outlaw Dogs does is she takes pieces of my videos, and puts them on a sip of whiskey. And she has her own channel on Rumble. And she puts out her own videos too. I mean, she doesn't just like grab just mine, but she has like a sip of whiskey, which is shorts taken from my shows. And then she does, the other videos. So I think what she was doing was just asking, you to introduce the Outlaw Dogs, which apparently you did just fine because she just responded with perfect.
Sweet.
So there you go. All right.
If you need me to do it, I'll do it.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So, I know. I'm sorry.
How's the missus?
Oh, well, she's doing just fine, actually. I mean, we're surviving. Outlaw, I'll tell you what. I will have him do it, and I'll send it to you. I'll grab a video of him doing it, and I'll send it to you that way. Yeah, we'll get it handled for you. But anyway, she's doing fine. And you and your family, how are you doing?
Yeah. Everybody's doing good. Son's in kindergarten now.
Yeah.
Although he's jumped to school already.
Yeah.
That's his mom. That's his mom.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she's doing good. He's doing good.
Sweet.
Not much going on except for traffic and other things.
Yeah. Well, that's true. So,
Mark. I didn't take the trip.
Oh,
I left it there.
Yeah, he left. Okay. So I got to put this up now since you mentioned it. So Mark over on Facebook asked, "Hey Jay, where's the trophy?" So just a little background for those that don't know. Jay and Mark K, where Jay used to work, the Mark K show, okay. It's not that where he used to work. He was a part of the show and then he got moved into another department. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, they had it was Tuesday trivia. And Jay won the trivia, I think the last 2 weeks prior to his
Departure.
Yeah, I didn't want to say departure, but prior to your change in responsibilities, and and so you left the trophy with Mark.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, technically, mine.
Yeah. Well,
am I coming in hot?
No, not really. Why is it?
Turn the game down.
No, you're not really coming in hot. I had to turn you up a little bit because you were a little low on my end, but that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're fine. You're fine. I think you're okay.
But yeah, I thought about it and I was like, I won it the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Typically mine, but he had more bottom.
He had more tick marks on the bottom. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right. So, let me ask you this. Do you have, and without giving away a bunch of details, you mentioned that you had another thing in the works. I know about another thing that you're working on, but I can't necessarily talk about it. Is that the only thing that you're working on, or do you have a even yet another thing that you're working on in the works?
So right now, up until this morning, that was the only thing I was working on. But I have a buddy of mine that he teaches day trading,
Uh-huh.
and he texted me this morning, said that he loved my podcast and he wanted to get my help to do one for him. And the way he put it was before everybody threw me away. So
Okay.
I might be helping him with that. He hasn't really told me details on it. Yeah.
Okay. So is that going to be like a day trading podcast or?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
He just wants to get something up.
Yeah, that was one thing that I think a lot of people, at least I know I was interested in. There was a long time there with the MK show that you were doing your J trading is what everybody called it. I mean, Can I ask whatever really happened with that?
So it got really volatile, and I ended up losing like $70.
Okay.
I was like, damn it, I gotta get this back at some point. But I just didn't jump back on it to move the studios, and then just other reasons. But yeah, I left it with like $930 in there. So
yeah.
So I texted Mark like I think weeks ago, and I was like, hey, don't forget, go ahead and get that money out of the trade station and get it back to your account.
Right.
So I didn't want him to forget that.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't want him to lose it all. So
yeah, because they would have taken it would.
Oops. What happened to you? You disappeared.
I turned into a ghost.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Wait. Hold on. There you go. Okay, it had to reset. I changed a setting on your screen, and so you dropped out and then came back. So that was my fault. Okay. Like I told you, the pleasures.
Looks like the video got better.
Huh?
Looks like the video got better.
Yeah, that's why I did it. I was like, I think I'm overdriving his video, and so I went and cut back, and so anyway, yeah, trying to make the quality get a little bit better. But anyway,
I gotcha.
All right, and so
what happened?
Well, one of your favorites. You'll know who this is, but one of your favorites came in. Definitely not Karen. Says, "Hey guys, J Money in the house." Anyway, so
I actually asked the new guy. He has all their Karen called.
Yeah,
and he was like, "No, I saw your note on the computer monitor that do not answer this phone number."
Oh, okay. So do you miss that? Do you miss her?
No, because she still trolls me.
Trolls you?
Like on Facebook.
Oh.
I posted a song up last week, I think, and all of a sudden, being her self,
right?
So, you fat pig, go back to the market. I was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, she just, there was times where at first it was funny, but then after a little while, it kind of got like, I don't know, overblown.
Well, I heard he started playing.
He started what?
I heard he started playing him again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't know. Mainly just because of the fact that I haven't really been watching, for other reasons. Just put it that way, for other reasons. So yeah, it was just, I just haven't watched in a while. I've been way too busy doing other stuff, trying to get things set up for, TGRN and that kind of stuff. And so
I got it.
anyway, Yeah, I guess some people are saying that. Some people are agreeing with you over here in the chat. They're over in Rumble Land, and then of course there's 3 Chevy, my in-house comedian, who basically says I didn't think she was real.
Oh, we kept telling you.
Oh yeah, no, I mean we were. She's real. I mean she's a real person, but
yeah,
you know it's kind of funny because a lot of the Patriots that were out there, they became like mini FBI people, and they tracked her down. They actually tracked down her, you know, her name and everything else. So,
and I don't know how. I know how the first name got out because Hannah decided she wanted to answer the phone. And she said the first name,
right?
But I don't know how the rest of that. But I heard about it.
Yeah, you heard about it.
Oh yeah, from Karen.
Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunately that's 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 what happens when you open yourself up like that, I guess. Realistically. Yeah. So, but anyway. All right.
She actually called the newsroom a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
And I saw it on the call ID, and this guy, that's one of the journalists, he looked at it and he was going to read it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You don't want to talk to
her. Yeah. Don't do it. Don't do it.
On to chew me out.
Yeah.
Oh.
What?
Never mind. I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, no, don't. Don't. I don't want to be blamed for continuing the. Yeah, well, I know you will, but anyway. Okay, so moving on from that. Moving on from that. All right. So you've got a bunch of irons in the fire. That's good. You are looking to expand. So I really think, guys, for everybody who is listening, go and check out the Red Pill Fix show. Red Pill Fix. And definitely, I don't know. Sherry over on Facebook, I don't know why you can't hear Jay. Everybody else seems to be able to, I think. So, but yeah, it's definitely go to the Red Pill Fix, try it on Spotify, and then of course you can check out Podbean as well. That's Podbean. I think it's PODBEAN.com.
Yep.
As well. So anyway,
and you can email me at redpillfixshow@gmail.com.
Yeah, so that was redpillfixshow at gmail.com. Red Pill Fix Show. Oh my gosh, that's like that when you've had a little bit of whiskey. It's kind of hard. Red Pill Fix Show at gmail.com. To email Jay about, and let's just be honest, you could probably email him about anything, but I think he would prefer it if you would just email him about conspiracy theories and his show and that kind of stuff. redpillfixshow@gmail.com. And of course, Outlaw Dogs is all over it. She's putting out all of the links again.
Thank you, Outlaw Dog.
So she's going there. All right. Well, thank you for coming. And I wanted to push your show. I wanted to push the podcast. And I know that you had been working on it a couple of weeks and you were feeling like you wanted to get a couple episodes under your belt before you came on. So I respect that. So anyway, and I guess, go ahead.
Thank you for having me on and letting me be able to have a couple episodes before doing it.
Yeah, no, not a problem. Not a problem. I got something here in Rumble. I don't know if you're watching, but I'll go ahead and put it up anyway. Picaric says, "Thank you, Jay, for the birthday post. It made my day special. The Red Pill Fix show is great."
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So there you go. And of course, you and I need to stay in contact because of our other things that we've got going on. But definitely, we'll have you back on the show again. And So good luck with your podcast and everything. I've got a ton more coming up right here on the show, but I wanted to give Jay his opportunity to push his red pill fix. And Jay, if you just want to hang out in the green room, you can maybe jump in the chat and chat with some of the chatters or whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna jump in the chat.
Okay.
I definitely want to hear what you're gonna talk about.
All right.
I woke up and I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, that is numero uno on the list here for tonight. So yeah, we're definitely going to have that here in just a moment. But thank you again for coming on. And again, everybody, please check out the Red Pill Fix on Spotify and Podbean for now. I'm assuming that he's going to send it out to other places once he gets a little more, shows under his belt. But Red Pill Fix Show at gmail.com if you want to send him an email about some conspiracy theories, mysteries, strange happenings and things. And of course, anything that is a conspiracy theory today will probably be a spoiler alert tomorrow. So
totally.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming. We will talk to you a little bit later and, hang out and, chat with some people. So enjoy your drink. All right.
I will.
Cool. All right. So let's see. Where am I? Oh, let me go ahead and get to, of course, this is a fan favorite, so I can't really miss this, whenever it comes up. So let me go ahead and get to this. Hopefully that's playing for you guys. It's on this day in American history. Oh, I know what's going on. Okay. So, all right. So Jay left the green room. Went ahead and left so I can get this back. All right. Okay. So on this day in American history, where we read from the American Patriots Almanac, written by William J. Bennett and John T.E. Cribb, it is chock full of all kinds of American history. And yes, 3 Chevy on this day in American history. Jay was on the Whiskey Musings broadcast, and that is a momentous occasion for sure. But let's move on to October 7th, Kings Mountain. October 7th, 1780 brought the Battle of Kings Mountain, a fight Thomas Jefferson called the turn of the tide of success in the Revolutionary War. By late summer 1780, British victories had convinced General Charles Cornwallis that the lower South lay under his control, and he marched north to subdue North Carolina. Along the way, he sent Major Patrick Ferguson, a hard-fighting Scot, toward the Carolina mountains to keep alive the spirits of our friends. But Bulldog Ferguson, let me say that again. But Bulldog Ferguson stirred up patriot spirits when he warned uncooperative frontier settlers that he would march over the mountains, hang their leaders, and lay their country waste with fire and sword. 900 men swarmed out of the mountains of present-day Tennessee, western North Carolina, and Virginia, called the Over Mountain Men because they lived over the mountains. They were every bit as hard fighting as Ferguson, and they had no intention to bowing to any king. The Over Mountain Men, along with the other patriots from the Carolinas and Georgia, caught up with Ferguson's loyalist troops at Kings Mountain, a wooded ridge in South Carolina. Ferguson had the advantage of high ground, but the patriots hid behind trees and rocks as they worked their way up the steep slopes. I stood behind one tree and fired until the bark was nearly all knocked off, one recalled. At the end of the brutal fight, over 300 loyalists had been killed or wounded, and 700 had been taken prisoner. Ferguson lay dead with 8 bullets in his body. Told of the defeat, a shaken Cornwallis retreated south. The over-mountain men shouldered their rifles and headed home. Sir Henry Clinton, the British commander-in-chief in North America, later called Kings Mountain the first link in a chain of evils that followed each other in regular succession until they at last ended in the total loss of America. And that is today's On This Day in American History. Now, I got to tell you, that story really puts forth the fighting spirit that we have in America today. That is where our ancestors fought people with, strength and skill and a perseverance that is unmatched. And that honestly is, those ancestors are the ones that really kicked in the whole concept of American tenacity. And so again, it's just amazing to even see and hear. So yeah, that is fantastic. All right. It's the Battle of Kings Mountain is where it came from. And so it is good, from that. So sorry, I got to get I must be getting popular because the trolls are starting to come out. Anyway. All right. Speaking of trolls and ugly folks and everything else, folks, some really bad news popped this morning. And it happened came obviously this morning to us here in America, is because of the fact that it happened over east, in the Middle East, to be exact. So let me go ahead and bring this up. I got to find it here. So Israel was apparently attacked by Hamas. And yeah, it came came as a surprise, but apparently it's the deadliest day in history in 50 years. Sorry, in 50 years of their history. And more than 230 people, 250 people were killed. This is an article in CNBC that talks about Israel is vowing mighty vengeance after the deadliest day in 50 years following a surprise Hamas attack. Now, for those of you that don't know, there was a Jewish holiday this weekend, and apparently a bunch of gunmen from the Palestinian group Hamas rampaged through a bunch of Israeli towns on Saturday, killing 250 people and escaping with hostages in by far the deadliest day of violence in Israel since Yom Kippur was 50 years ago. More than 230 Gazans, because it's part of the Gaza Strip, were also killed when Israel responded with one of its most devastating days of retaliatory strikes. Now, for those of you that don't understand, Israel doesn't take very kindly to these kinds of attacks, and they go and they basically go and retaliate quickly and with a vengeance whenever they do. And speaking about that, and I got to move quickly here because I've got a lot to cover in a short period of time. But Israel apparently is declaring a state of war after this surprise Hamas attack. Now, the Israeli prime minister declares we are at war following the infiltration of dozens of terrorists and rocket fire into Israel. I want to point out that there was a crucial piece that was negotiated by the existing occupant of the White House that handed $6 billion, that's with a B, $6 billion over to the funder of Middle East terrorism, which is essentially Iran. Iran takes their money and takes any money that they can get from, other countries like ours, and they funnel it through them into terrorist organizations such as Hamas. And so do not be surprised. In fact, when the deal was broken, if you recall, you can even go back and check, but if you recall, I said that money is going to go toward funding whatever it is that Israel wants, even though the United States and other entities trying to convince that Hamas, or not Hamas, but Iran, to use that money for humanitarian purposes. We all know that wasn't the case. In fact, Iran even told them, the mullahs even told them, no, we'll use that. We'll use that for anything that we want. So this essentially, a lot of the GOP candidates for 2024, they all say the same thing, which I said the same thing. I mean, I said it when the $6 billion deal was mentioned. But I mean, this literally is where that money is going to head. And in fact, in this piece in the New York Post, they call that out, where they talk about the White House stressed at the time of the deal that Iran could only use the funds for food, medicine, medical equipment that would not have a dual military use. But Iran, of course, waved off the terms and publicly boasted that they would deploy the cash wherever we need it. Folks, we are at we're on the precipice of a very dangerous time. I grew up, my earliest conscious memories were of the 1980s and the whole Cold War. Nobody who is born after 2001, realistically, after like 2001, 2002, can really remember what this world was really like when you live under a state of fear. And this is, I mean, folks, we're getting close. I've been saying it on this program. I think the next step, and I've even mentioned it a couple of times already. Let me go ahead and get off this, but I've mentioned this a couple of times already. You're looking at three theaters of operation. The first one is already happening in Eastern Europe. That's Ukraine and Russia. Okay. So that's the first theater of what essentially will likely end up being as World War III. So that's the first theater of operations that is going on. The second theater, and I hate to sound like I'm patting myself on the back, but the second theater of operations is going to be in the Middle East. Iran itself has already been talking about revamping its nuclear program, getting everything set up. And of course, if the nuclear program gets started up again, that's not going to make Israel very happy. And Israel is going to do something about it. I mean, they're just not going to sit around and wait for diplomacy or anything else. So the Middle East, with Hamas kicking up now, we've now got some interesting areas of possibilities that are showing up right now. Okay. The third area of operation is going to be over in the Pacific. And by that, I mean the China-Taiwan conflict. Now, you can sit here and you can say all you want about, China, China-Taiwan, that's not a big deal. But as I've been telling you on this program multiple times, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over again. 90% of all of our electronic devices, everything that we use in our electronics, 90% have some technology that comes from Taiwan in them. And this whole BS that Biden keeps pushing out about the fact that we've got this brand new chips manufacturing plant that's being built in Phoenix, Arizona. Well, a couple of episodes ago, I showed you an article that actually told you that that isn't going to impact us as much as what Biden is touting that it's going to be. And the reason being is because they have to ship whatever that plant makes has to be shipped back over to Taiwan in order to finish processing and packaging. So even though Biden keeps talking about, oh, we're going to be making our own chips, we're going to be manufacturing our own stuff, we're going to become, chip independent. It's not going to happen. And not only that, but I also have brought up on this program multiple times that China actually holds the lion's share of the raw materials at this point for those silicon chip manufacturings. And you think that they're going to sell it to us, or they're going to just hand it over to us without, high prices, high costs to push that crap out of the market? Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think so. And so we keep your head on a swivel, folks. Head on a swivel. If you aren't getting yourself prepared, get yourself prepped. Get some food, get some emergency food, emergency supplies, emergency, get yourself some water. Make sure you have water supplies and things of that nature. You have got to get yourself prepared. And I'm suggesting it to you. I'm encouraging you to do it. If you have the funds, make sure you can do it, because something big is coming down. Okay. Something big is coming, and it's coming fast. It's not only coming here in the US, but it's also coming across the world, as we can now see. We have many things that are starting, all of the chess pieces are starting to fit into position. And, we're going to have some serious problems. Now, that being said, okay, we do have some light at the end of the tunnel. We do have some good things. I've got one article here, to talk to you about, in terms of the, some upcoming stuff, as well as some more disturbing things there. And then I also have a very special message that I wanted to grab. It came up on my Facebook feed that I want to end the program with. But before I do, let me just go ahead and say, hey, if you are looking for some fabulous logo gear and Whiskey Musings saying, motto, I call them the motto. That's my motto. What's a motto? What's a motto with you? Old joke. Anyway, there's some fabulous stuff that you can pick up at store.whiskeymusings.online. It is some fantastic, shirts, sweatshirts, cups, glasses, water bottles, things like that. You can get them with my logo on there. You can get them with my motto, which is when I drink, I think, all on those wonderful things. Just check out the selection, the plethora of things that I have out there. And of course, when you buy one of those products, a portion of the proceeds goes right here to the Whiskey Musings broadcast, and allows me to keep up with doing some of the great things that I am doing here on the program, and of course, improving things too. So go to store.whiskeymusings.online. That's store.whiskeymusings.online. Once again, that's store.whiskeymusings.online, and go check out all of my logo gear and my motto gear out today. And I thank you for anything, even just going and checking it out. I do appreciate that. All right. So there's a realization that's coming up here. We have 2024 coming up, and believe it or not, people, it's coming fast. It's coming very fast. Okay. And here's the thing is that, there is a group of individuals out there. They're called the Never Trumpers, the Anti-Trumpers, and so on and so forth. Well, according to this piece in Red State, they are starting to realize that Trump is not going to go away. He is not going to go away, people. No matter how much you throw at him, he still is present, omnipresent, and standing up here. So, this is, I've said it on this program. The polling numbers are showing it. Right now, this is Trump's GOP nomination to lose. Something major has to happen for Trump to not gain the GOP nomination. And as time goes on and time starts clicking shorter and shorter for all of those people who are out there who are trying to get the nomination and wrestle it away from him, I'm sorry, but we've got Donald Trump is still a force to be reckoned with, that a lot of the anti and never Trumpers are starting to understand. They tried to get rid of him with the Mar-a-Lago raid. That just made him stronger. They're trying to get him with all these multiple indictments. So far, that hasn't really done anything in the polling within the GOP party. And so a lot of these people need to understand that Trump and all of the Trump supporters, they are not going away. Okay. And while, I listen to a lot of different ones of the greats, like, Mark Levin and Dan Bongino and Ben Shapiro. I listen to a lot of those guys up there. And you need to understand that Dan Bongino's a Trump guy, and Mark Levin's a Trump guy. Ben doesn't think that Trump is going to have the opportunity at this point. He doesn't think he's going to beat Joe Biden in a head-to-head race. He thinks some of the polling is a little off. And the reason being, of course, he keeps saying, is because Trump is going to make the 2024 election all about Trump, which, I tend to agree with him on that. But whether or not that is going to be an effective strategy is kind of remaining to be seen. Obviously, we're going to be looking back on 2024 and seeing what happens. But the thing about it is that Donald Trump's poll numbers, it's remaining strong. And that's what's going to get him obviously into the office. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The more people that stay in the race, the better off Trump's chances are. Now, obviously, he jumped in the race early. He got in first. I was questioning that. Seems to have been a winning strategy, at least so far. He was attacking Ron DeSantis, which I don't think that Ron should have gotten in the race. I think Ron kind of shot himself in the foot with that. And that seems to be holding true in the polling for right now. But we still have a lot of things that are going on here. We still have a long way to go. So this isn't like a victory lap or anything else. However, as you can see, within all of the polling and everything that's out there, this is Trump's race to lose. And like him, don't like him, hate him, whatever you want to say, at this point in time, at this moment, it looks like Trump is going to be the GOP nominee, and it's very likely that that's going to happen, because apparently some of these people that are out here, according to this Red State article, that are against him, they have decided that the millions of dollars, and I'm reading from the piece here, in anti-Trump ads are not moving the needle, and they are rethinking their spending habits. Win It Back is a PAC associated with the Club for Growth. They've spent about $6 million on 40 anti-Trump ads, which have been proven to be ineffective. Republican Accountability PAC, a group of former Trump voters whose aim is to move the Republican Party beyond the Trump era, has spent $1 million on campaign ads in Iowa. Sarah Longwell is the head of the Republican Accountability PAC and said, "We have stopped spending money in the primary." Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, they say in the piece, seems to have been the hardest hit by the individual high-dollar GOP donors, who are starting to see a bit of futility in the primary process. Never Back Down PAC is backing DeSantis. A hotel entrepreneur, Robert Bigelow, is its largest individual donor and has, at least for the moment, stopped donating. to the pack. So a lot of these people, and it continues on here, billionaire and Citadel CEO Ken Griffin was originally an ardent DeSantis supporter and even stated that our country would be well served by DeSantis as president. But Griffin has pulled back his support of DeSantis, saying recently, I don't know his strategy. It's not clear to me what voter base he is intending to appeal to. So essentially what's happening here, folks, is you're starting to see the Trump effect, essentially, coming into play, where a lot of the donors and everything, all the never Trumpers are starting to realize that, the more that the left attacks Trump, the more that they throw at Trump, his moniker of being Teflon Don seems to be very, very effective. And he is coming back stronger than ever. I actually think that the reason for this is because we had 4 years of good economy, 4 years of essentially no wars, 4 years of not even a conflict, in a heavy conflict, let's put it that way. We had the number one terrorist organizer get taken out by Donald Trump and his administration. We have we had so many things that no matter what was going on, Donald Trump and his administration was still effective to get to essentially get in him, through some of this. And even though he was pushed out on every turn, he essentially was able to prevail. And so I think a lot of people are looking at the last 4 years and the previous 4 years, or the last 3 years and the previous 4 years, and they're saying, this is a bit of a problem. That the Democrats have essentially taken us backwards from the 4 years that are out there. So from the last 4 years. Well, there's also some more rumblings, and this popped, and I got to tell you, when I saw this, hat tip to Dan Bongino who brought this up, but this really scared me. But what was really interesting was when I went to go look for this article, not going directly on Dan Bongino's site, but when I went to go look for this article directly just through a Google search, I stumbled across another article that scared me even more, that popped out just a couple days prior. Now, I got to fill up my glass here with a little bit more whiskey, because talking with Jay Bose had me drain my glass. So let me go ahead and put this, and we're going to get into the second round here. Whew. All right. I'm being told by my unofficial executive producer to go ahead and drink. So there we go. Okay. So this article, Dan Bongino has been talking about this article for quite a bit. Before I get into it, let me really quick, Outlaw Dogs. I don't have a promo code yet, but I will. I'll announce it on the next show. I'll have a promo code for, Christmas coming up. But anyway, so, to get back to this piece, Dan Bongino saw this, and this piece popped out, and I went to search for this article, this one right here, and I ended up running across another article, which is kind of scary. So here's the thing. Newsweek sent this, or put this out as apparently a breaking news, whistleblower kind of thing. This is William M. Arkin, 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 that put it out on the 4th. And he framed the article as though it was like a whistleblower leak. And the headline reads, "Exclusive, Donald Trump followers targeted by FBI as 2024 election nears." Now, I'm not going to delve deeply into the article. You can grab it from my description of my videos. and you'll be able to see what and read through this. But apparently there was a report that came out that the FBI has added a new category to the dangerous violent extremists line. And this report is pushing the idea that the FBI is targeting Donald Trump followers and MAGA supporters. Now, normally just one article like this, this is kind of a, what do you call it? Kind of like a dog whistle, I guess you could say. And normally I wouldn't give it any thought because Newsweek is a left-leaning organization, completely left-leaning, et cetera, et cetera. But when I went searching for this, I found this, I stumbled across, I found it popped up in the search, whatever you want to call it, it came up with this. Now, this article, which came out on the 1st of October, so just 3 days prior to the other article that I just showed you, this by another person, Thomas Kika, Kika, this kind of put a little more perspective onto that other article. This article says, Trump supporters highly likely to try to kill people in 2024, according to an analyst. Political analyst Brian Klaas, Klaas, warned on Sunday that a small subset of Donald Trump supporters are highly likely to try and kill people ahead of the 2024 election, presidential election, as the former president's rhetoric continues to become more violent. I don't see where Donald Trump's rhetoric is becoming more violent. Honestly, I don't. Okay. But the fact of the matter is that what's happening here is not that Donald Trump's rhetoric is getting more and more problematic. It's that the left is doing more and more things that are causing us to go, hey, wait a minute, this isn't right. For an example, Joe Biden just setting up forgiving, student loan forgiveness. Joe Biden's son, Hunter, and the obvious Hunter Biden connection with foreign entities, and nothing happened there. I think what you're seeing people who are patriots who want to have our government and our country back like we used to have it. And we're just all ticked off. Now, I don't think that any of us, that there's going to be any particular violence per se, but keep in mind, too, that, again, these are potential dog whistles, and they're dog whistles to the left. Well, why do I say that? Well, pretty simple. Very simple. So, as if on cue, the Wicked Witch of the West, or the East, well, she's East to us. So the Wicked Witch of the East popped up and, of course, gave an interview on the Clinton News Network, CNN, and she said some things that are very disturbing. Nothing really surprising because she said, she's had this kind of rhetoric before, but you want to talk about escalating rhetoric. You want to talk about escalating, violence and everything else. Everything points to the left. If you recall, last episode, I showed you an article where they were doing a study and they show that young people in colleges are more willing to do, and keep in mind, the majority of colleges are left-leaning organizations. They are where Democrat voters most of the time are there, okay? But they essentially keep talking about the use of violence for political gain and the use of silencing and censoring free speech. That seems to be a commonality within the young generation of Generation Z on these college campuses. Well, as if on cue, here she comes. The Wicked Witch of the East comes out, and let's just take a listen and hear what she says.
Very strong partisans in both parties in the past, and we had very bitter battles over all kinds of things, gun control and climate change and the economy and taxes. But there wasn't this little tail of extremism wagging the dog of the Republican Party as it is today. Mm-hmm. And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure. He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members, but something needs to happen. And how do you
And that last statement is the last complete point, where she is discussing and talking about a deprogramming of the quote unquote cult members. Now, folks, it's this kind of rhetoric that is pushing all of us, honestly, all of us on the right, causing us some serious concern. And we need to be concerned because, as Dan Bongino points out, the police state is here. We already have non-government organizations that successfully censored individuals for practicing free speech on platforms. We have several, people like Elon Musk who came in and bought Twitter with the specific and clear, publicly addressed idea to make it a free speech platform. And here he is being attacked or by government agencies, the SEC, the NBLA, I think. There's like all kinds of different legal entities that are going after him for whatever reason. You've got Donald Trump, who's being attacked because of his activities to try and get America back on track. And you have, of course, all the January 6th prisoners, all the January 6th people who essentially did, in some cases, nothing more than like Jamal Bowman did by pulling the fire alarm during a potential vote last week. And Jamal Bowman's not in jail. And you have all these grandmas, you have, people who were just at the party and not really doing anything. And so it's just, these are all little signs that are all coming down. Now, I've always subscribed to the saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. I've also subscribed to the idea that there's no such thing as coincidences, especially when you're talking about the Democrat Party and the Democrat hive mind that we have out there right now. They are gearing up for something. I don't know what it is, but they are definitely gearing up for 2024. And they are looking to again introduce things like the MAGA extremists, the MAGA Republicans, all of the MAGA extremists. If you have an X account, formerly known as Twitter, and you dig through all of their posts and everything else, everyone from Hakeem Jeffries to the president to the vice president to this witch, they are all saying the exact same thing. They are all talking about the MAGA extremists, the MAGA Republicans, the MAGA this, the MAGA that. All of these extremists are going to destroy democracy. These idiots don't even understand what democracy is. They don't even care what democracy is, because if they did, they would be afraid of the majority rule, realistically, that democracy brings. Well, in addition to all of this that's been going on, we also have the FBI apparently has issued a statement where they are saying, according to Newsmax, where they deny the targeting of Trump supporters ahead of the 2024 vote. They categorically denied a report that it was secretly targeting supporters of former President Donald Trump ahead of the 2024 elections. Okay, so let's be honest here. They denied the fact that they were going into Catholic churches to go after what they considered extremists. That was true. They denied the fact that they were punishing pro-life supporters, or they were going after pro-life supporters more than they go after the abortion extremists that are out there. That was true. They denied about the fact that they were doing anything to block the Hunter Biden laptop investigation and everything else. So far, we're finding that's true, that they were. So, you know, I'm sorry, but the FBI's credibility, at least in my mind, really is not there, to be honest with you. I just don't see it, folks. I really do not see it. And these articles and things like these, you know, things like this are really cause for concern. When you take them on their individual level, okay, I can see it. But when you start seeing a series of them and you start seeing them come out one right after the other, after the other, after the other, and things start getting put into place, you start to see a very scary future picture for our country. And especially in terms of the idea that we are potentially no longer a constitutional republic, that we are sliding down the slippery slope. And I'm just telling you right now, this is why I say, without a shadow of a doubt, that 2024 is going to be the most crucial election in our lifetime. 2020 was crucial. So was 2016. Oh my gosh, 2016, to make sure that Wicked Witch of the East did not get put in to the White House. I mean, we dodged a bullet there. We dodged a bullet when Merrick Garland didn't make it onto the Supreme Court. Well, now we have another bullet that we need to start either dodging or shielding ourselves against. And it's coming in 2024, folks. It's coming in 2024. We have to make sure that we go out and vote. We do it peacefully. We do it patriotically. We do it legally. You can't sit on the sidelines for this one, people. And I'm tending to agree with Dan Bongino. You got to reach out and get 10 friends. It's I think he calls it the 10 friend rule or something like that. We have got to reach out and get 10 friends. Okay. 10 friends. And so you got to go and grab 10 friends. We cannot let them sit this one out. We have to present ourselves as a show of solidarity in this time. And again, as I've said on multiple occasions, assuming Donald Trump makes it, you know, Dan Bongino's got this saying, the Republicans may not be the answer to all your problems, but the Democrats are for sure the cause of them. And this is correct. I am telling you this. This is my belief. We have got to make sure that we do this over and over and over again. Okay. We've got to get this done in 2024. We can't sit on the sidelines anymore, folks. You can't sit out anymore. Now, that being said, I have a very special message that I want to play for you here in the last ending. And I've got a few other articles, but I'm not going to get to them. To be honest with you, they're really not all that important. But I have a very special message from a very special guy, a man that I respect, even though I never met him. But this is a very special message, and we need to understand that, well, let me just play it. You'll see it here in just a minute. Let me just play it for you. This is a very special message from a very special man.
People call here now, Rush, you always told us. You told us when it's going to be time to panic. Well, is it time to panic? Well, let me just tell you, folks, it's never going to be time to panic because we're never going to give up. We're not going to give up on America. I'm not. I don't think most of you are either. And while we have that attitude of not giving up, we are constantly going to be searching, strategizing, coming up with ways to prevail. We've got the basics. We have millions and millions of Americans that are fed up, can't wait to do something about it. There will be a series of ideas that people come up with based on dealing with the fraud that we know we have to deal with. But America's worth it. America is worth fighting for. America's worth not giving up. And that's why I think whatever form it takes, we will continue to fight for and to defend and to triumph. I know the odds are, they're stiff and they're steep. The American left is made up of a lot of people that hate this country. Hate is a very, very destructive frame of mind. It's a very, very destructive characteristic. And eventually it results in implosion. You cannot survive on hatred. You cannot sustain a movement based on it. We just need to be patient while being vigilant and continuing to fight for what we believe in, knowing full well that we can prevail. And while we may not have the golden goose idea right now for how to do it, there are countless people thinking about it, strategizing. We're not alone. You're not alone. You're not a singular individual all by yourself out there trying to fight these people by yourself. There are 74 million plus and growing.
The great Rush Limbaugh, of course, folks. It's not time to panic yet, okay? Even as much as all of this has occurred and we see all of these signs and these things showing up, it's not time to panic. Because of the fact, folks, we, believe it or not, whether you think so or not, it's the perception that we are not in the majority. We are in the majority, people. There's just a lot of you who have had a lot of focus elsewhere that we need to find, and we need those people to understand they can't put their focus elsewhere anymore. We need to have them focused on 2024, but it's not time to panic. It is not time to panic, in Rush's words, because we will figure this out. As Dan Bongino says, we're long on America. I'm long on America. And we're going to get there. Okay? We're going to get there. Telling you, even though these days are dark now, and they're probably going to get darker, there is going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And hopefully, with God's will and God's help, we will make it to the finish line. Because in the end, if you read your Bible, you already know the ending. You already know God wins. And that's my final Whiskey Musings thought of the evening. Do me a favor. If you like my broadcast, if you like what I do, you like the show, head on over to Rumble. Sign up for an account. It's free. And then find the Whiskey Musings Broadcast and subscribe. Click that little green follow button. You can also follow me on other outlets like YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. But we'll see what comes for all of us. I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Jay Bose for coming on. I know he is a fan favorite of a lot of the Whiskey Warriors, and I appreciate him coming out. Do me a favor, make sure you check out his podcast, Red Pill Fix. That's Red Pill Fix on Spotify for sure, and Podbean. Also, I want to give a shout out to a special young man in Arizona. I'll only use his name, first name, Preston. So Preston in Arizona, special shout out to you. I hope you're listening on the audio portion afterward. Ladies and gentlemen, we living in dark times, but we will see it through. And I will see you on Wednesday, next time on the Whiskey Musings broadcast. Good night, everybody.
The Whiskey Musings broadcast is produced by Active Eye Media, LLC. All rights reserved.